Hello, good evening, and welcome. A little bit of intro to what we're going to do now. I'm actually going to start by the fact that some of you will know my old man died about 18 months ago or so, just shy of that. And I've got to go back about another 18 months before that, I suppose, when he was in hospital. And he was a regular visitor to hospitals. But he had a very, very long spell in hospital, 4.5 months or so. And I was going over every other weekend, Ryanair. They've got lots of money, don't worry about them going broke. They had all of my money for that period. But when I used to sit with him, it was often quite hard because early on his memory wasn't great by that stage because he had problems with oxygen to his brain. It got better later. Um, and it was part-time things to do. What I found worked was if I took my phone with me, make sure I had plenty of data, took my little speaker thing, you can attach the phone to, and Bluetooth it and play music because there was music we could both listen to, we both enjoyed. And one afternoon, I'm playing him an album by Frank Sinatra from the mid-50s called Where Are You? And that suddenly started really saying, oh, I used to love Sinatra. I knew that because I used to listen to music all the time as a kid. And he then comes and says, well, actually, what it was about, Simon, was I remember when I was that kind of age, I was first walking out with your mother, as they used to say, first courting my mum. And he took her to see Frank Sinatra live in London. I'm like, well, hey, that's pretty posh. And he turned out he'd taken her several times. And it suddenly occurs to me, you never think of your parents as young. I know you guys don't. But you don't mind my age either. You still don't think your parents as young people. But actually, when I think about it, my parents were in their salad days in the 50s. My dad left the army in the 50s. My dad met my mum before that, but they started going out together, started walking out together in the mid 50s. They got married in 1956. They had a few years then of being young people without children, so 4 years or so before they had any kids. So that, I think, gave them time to enjoy themselves, spend a bit of money, save a bit of money as well. And got me thinking about actually the stories I'm going to be telling really from now on have a hell of a lot about my life in them. And I've mentioned, Frank Sinatra, well, my mum and dad, once they did have children, moved into a council house out in Essex. That's the house I grew up in. Council housing is going to be a big feature of what's coming up in just a moment. We're going to talk about grammar schools. We're going to talk about comprehensive schools. We're going to talk about university. We're going to talk about women's position. We're going to be talking about things like the pill. We're going to be talking about women at work. We're going to be talking about social change. We're going to talk about cultural change. And really, we're going to be thinking about this. This is a period when the world was modernising and changing rapidly. How successfully or not successfully did the governments of these years, these conservative governments, adapt to that change? Or how far did they remain the conservative governments of the grass more, old chap? It's a question that we're going to need to consider if we're going to reach verdicts on why the Conservatives were in power for so long, why they lost, and just more importantly, how good were or weren't they, and how effective was, in other sense, the conservatism of Macmillan. So, part one done.